Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a cool astrologer cigar show. And today we're going to be discussing the Mercury retrograde that is going to happen on June 17th all the way till July 12th. And usually I don't make Mercury retrograde videos. How many times Mercury has gone retrograde and you saw a video by KRS? Hardly. This one's different. This one's different. And this is more going to be of a wisdomatic advice than anything else. And as always, if you do not know which house Mercury might be retrograding starting June 17th and in, what type of situation with other planets, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report under shop section, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, where I teach nakshatras and everything related to nakshatras and astrology. So, let's talk about Mercury. So, this time around, Mercury is in Gemini. But most importantly, what's happening right now is that Mercury is in the nakshatra of Ardra. Okay? And it's going backwards towards Rahu. Now, Rahu is approximately at I think 4.5 or 5 degrees, right at the Yogatara of Ardra. So, planet of communication devices is in this nakshatra of Rudra, which is wild, unorthodox, and destructive. But why is it destructive? If you read the mythology of Rudra, Rudra came into Daksha's yagna. He knocked out the teeth of, Pushan, cut the hands of the Hasta, poked the eyes of Bhaga. Did all kinds of havoc things. So Rudra, usually is a calm individual. It's like this yogi meditating. But if you provoke the yogi, he suddenly just curses you, or kind of like Dr. Manhattan, just bursts you into a million different particles. And here you already have the Rudra itself, which is Rahu, at the Yogatara of Ardra. Not to mention, Saturn, Jupiter are both retrograde in Sagittarius right now. Now you must be thinking, well, Saturn is still in Capricorn and Jupiter is in Capricorn, moving towards, or has probably moved now in Sagittarius. Why are you saying both of them are in Sagittarius? Because when a planet is retrograde, it's going to behave like the previous sign. So Saturn is behaving like it's in Sagittarius. So both Jupiter, Saturn, and the axis of Ketu is directly impacting Mercury. So what can be derived from this? Well, the number one thing is this: turn off your social media for the time being. Anything stupid you say, anything genuine you will say, anything political you say, whether it's extreme liberal or extreme conservative, it's going to be taken out of context, and it's going to bring Rudras through your communication. The Rudras will come to knock you out. Stay as far away from things like Twitter and Facebook. And because of the fact, the rebelliousness of the masses, okay? The rebelliousness of the masses right now is on the edge. Because like I made that last video of Jupiter, Saturn retrograde, and I'm like, listen, 3 months from now, within a month from now, 3 weeks from now, you'll see many protests, rebelliousness happening, and this is going to continue. This is going to continue until like September, October. It's actually going to get even more heavy as this eclipse happens. An eclipse is happening. If you see the path of the eclipse, it's happening right from India over to China. So you can already guess what's going to be manifesting there. But because of what's happening, you're going to see many people, especially youth. Youth. Why? Because Mercury is youth. You're going to see many youth have very obnoxious, unorthodox communication with each other. There are going to be many rebellious fights amongst youth. And the thing is, because Mercury is retrograde, even an adult may act like a youth, an immature youth who does not really know how things are working. They just watch the media, they watch mainstream media, and they're like, oh, this is what's wrong with the world. Okay, let me correct it. Where there's no such thing as research anymore, no such thing as independent thinking and investigating anymore. So in this particular chaoticness which is happening right now, on top of that, you're having Mercury retrograde. Stop texting, okay? Stop texting someone, your friend, like, oh, this is so wrong. I believe this is right, this is that. Because that particular text is now registered. And if it's registered, it could be exposed. Things you say, will have the tendency to bring a storm with that communication, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not. Be as minimal as possible. I know it's addicting, but actually, before I even made this video, I'm kind of teaching what I'm preaching, or preaching what I'm teaching. I don't know which one means what, but I just logged out of my Twitter. I try to cancel it, and my password, I no longer even remember the password. And so I'm like, okay, I'll recover it later, and then I'll disconnect it, but I'll just log out. Even on my Facebook, I think after today, I won't be just posting anything. My personal Facebook, my personal Facebook. Family fighting family over different viewpoints. Friends arguing with each other over different political points. And I don't know if there's a particular trick called divide and conquer, what is happening, but I'm sitting back, and of course I put my own spice in it, just for fun. I put my own spice in it, but out. And if you can do that, like for example, people are now getting fired from their job because of their supporting this politician or that politician. So this particular retrograde that is going to be happening very soon, the more quiet you are, the more you observe, the better off you will be. As much as emotions are high, everybody's on edge, everybody's flared up, trust me, you don't want to aggravate something for the long term. See, you got to understand, to all the young people who follow me, see, whatever I did in my past, whatever shenanigans, and boy, there were many shenanigans in my teens and in my 20s that I did, they're past. There's no way to trace them, track them. But with you, the young teenage youth, which is literally 58 to 60% of my following, you, on the other hand, we can literally trace what you said, did, and thought about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. And what happens is this stigma is going to follow throughout your life until internet is just gone. So you want to think 10 times before you post some picture. Simple pictures are being taken out of context by people. There's normal vocabulary now is being considered offensive. This is a very chaotic time. And yes, this will settle. I'm telling you right now, this will all settle. Especially once Jupiter comes into Aquarius by end of next year. Jupiter will bring wisdom to the masses. Jupiter is going to bring wisdom to the masses. Suddenly, Jupiter will bring this sense that, you know what? I think what we were doing was wrong. I think what we were told was wrong. And you will see kind of like this emotional, collective understanding of the masses when Jupiter enters Aquarius. And there will be this ability to fight off those, influences that have been riled up this whole time. Because this particular retrograde of Jupiter and Saturn, it's not just that they're going to go direct and suddenly everything will become normal. Their particular retrograde effect and what it's doing now, it's going to carry on for a while. And many things are going to be corrected. So as much as some people are like, oh, what is happening? Why are these people doing this? Why are these people doing that? I'm telling you right now, there's going to be something good coming out of all this chaos. Right now, when chaos is happening, you can't understand what's happening. But when that chaos slows down and starts arranging itself, and it makes this beautiful feminine figure, and you're like, oh, so that's what all this chaos and mixing was happening. Yeah, the material was mixing. When something is mixing, especially when you mix concrete, everything is just like chaotic and churning. But what are you doing with that concrete? You're building a wall. You're building some statue. That's all it is. And this is why you have to understand the tide of time. Once you understand time, where 1 hour in an astral world will equal to 100 years in Earth times, this is where you can understand, oh, this is just chaotic for 5 minutes and it's going to correct. This is why yogis don't come out and try to be all political or try to save the world. They're in a completely different time zone where that 3 minutes of chaos, which seems like 10 years here, it'll be 3 minutes in their timeline. And they're like, yeah, it's going to get it. It's going to come and pass through. But specifically right now, usually I'd never make retrograde videos, but because of this Jupiter-Saturn being in a rebellious Uttra Ashada, fight war, the initiation of war, where Mahabharata started. Your words can start Mahabharata, which was the great war in India. Okay? So this is my advice, to be calm. Okay? So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below and hit the bell button so you don't miss this type of wisdom from my pretty face. And if you want to know everything about your chart, horoscope, everything, check out the links here. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.